Hey guys, and how's it going? Fast forwarded a little bit on this bike, did some work without recording it, so I'll get you up to speed. And for those who have never watched any of the two previous videos, I'll give a review again, I guess. So this is a Schwinn Phantom frame that was parts and pieces that was given to me. It was getting thrown away, and we are turning it into a gas-powered bike. And on the last video, we got it a bunch of parts put on it that were just kind of laying on it, getting a rough in for what we wanted. Well, since then I've made all those parts that were roughed in a little bit more permanent. Plus we only had the one brick colored front tire on it. I'll swing you over and you get a better idea what's going on. Looks a little different. Got rid of the rack that was on the back, changed the seat post a little bit, cut it down. I still may drop that down a little further, but I'm gonna leave it there for now. Gas tank is permanently done, built inside, sealed off. There is a fuel inlet, and there is on this side, internally, there's a piece of copper tube that's drilled into it that comes up here for a vent. So you don't have to worry about venting the gas cap, or the fill is only going into the middle of the tank. I'll show you on the other side what's going on with that. Change the sprocket setup in the back. It had a 44 tooth. This is a 56 tooth. As far as what I understand, the clutch that is in here and the chain drive on the gear reduction in here is kind of weak. I did not want to overtax them, and I'd rather have a bike that could do 25 miles an hour and be able to pull a hill instead of one that does 35 miles an hour but smokes the clutch in 2 miles. So that got changed out to a different style, and it is also has a hub that is bolted to the back wheel. It doesn't have the rag joint anymore. Took these and I aged them. I heated the sprockets up and then threw them in oil. Made them a little on the darker side, kind of gave it that patina look. The same with the pedal cranks, the sprocket on the other side. These were all new, these were all chrome and shiny. Aged them, got some older pedals on there to make them look a little different. What else we got? I made, I'll get you off the stand, get closer. Made some fender brackets, we're gonna call them, and they are adjustable. I cut them off another bike. They have springs on them. They have threads on them, so we can tweak them if we need to be. I actually made 2 sets. There's another one that can go up here. Kind of undecided whether I want those on there or not. Here's that new style joint that grabs the center of the hub, and we'll see how that makes out for us. Again, we went for a higher gear, lower speed. Mounted the chain guard on this side. I was going back and forth between having it on this side or on this chain. I ended up putting it over here. That is permanently mounted. Like I said, I aged all the pedal cranks. The same with the sprocket. Got aged behind that. Guess, of course, the engine still looks too new. We'll take care of that. There's the fill for it. This was the original hole that was in this metal tank. I wanted to use that over, not drill anymore. So we got some plumbing. There's a straight that's welded right to the tank, and then I drilled through it into the tank, and then just 2 elbows threaded on, and then we have a old knob from I guess a very pool table set made for kids. Not sure. Drilled that out and made that for the gas cap. Again, it doesn't need to be vented because there's a vent internally. There's a tube coming down. This is the outlet for the gas. Permanently mounted at the front fender. And also went with copper tying the fender. The front suspension pivots and rocks, and you couldn't really mount to this. You probably could have done a hinge of some sort, but again, this stays put and this assembly rocks, so you have to have some free movement in there. It is supported in 4 places on the fender as it is. You just needed something to keep the fender from wanting to slide down or forward. That would suck. So that's how that's set up. Handlebars are still the way they were. I'm not sure if we're gonna like them like that or not, but again, we could leave that till a little bit later in the process. Are you caught up? I think you are. What do you think about the wheels? Now that they're both the same color. It's decent. We still can change them out, but for now we're gonna move forward with what they are. So we have to age that engine. We have to make an exhaust. Came with an exhaust, but we're not going to use this. Well, that's what it came with. So let's start with exhaust. Probably we'll cut it right here maybe we can see if we can get that shape. See if we can get that shape. We'll curve it more so you can get the curve underneath here, and then we'll add on from there. I do apologize for the noise of the fan in the background, but it is super hot in here. We're just gonna have to get over that because it's 90. All right, I like to see if we can get that to curve, maybe right, roughly tuck it underneath the gear reduction, and then we'll add on to it from there. We'll leave it probably together while we bend it, give us something to kind of pull and tug on. I don't think that made a very even curve. Well, love taps might fix that. Not terrible. Don't touch that, it's hot. Not well you can see, but it's the flanges got to get twisted this way, or the rest of the pipe has to get twisted that way. So I'm going to heat it back up again, probably right in this area, and see if we can get a little bit of a roll coming out of it. And a little more heat and bend in. It looks like I could bolt that up right about there, without that fat part of the muffler being in the way. That's good. I'm going to go cut it right here. We'll bolt that up and we'll start continuing on down the line. That's a decent start. Let's go through a couple of bolts in that. And so we need something to continue on. We're running our way back. Let's go shopping. We could probably steal a piece of frame. That's kind of fat, like that's fatter than I think anyway. I don't want to sacrifice any of these quite yet, especially that one. That's a boy's frame. Girl's frame's not so bad. Maybe handlebars. Handlebars might work. Let's go look one more place. Let's go to the land of scrap metal. So we are looking for something that probably shouldn't even be in there. That's a clamp. The right size though. It'll take that out of there. There's another one. It's telling me something. Pick me, pick me. Handlebars. There's a regular motorcycle, and they got kind of weird stuff in them. What's that? Oh, it's aluminum. What about that? That might work right there. Let's go look at that. Possible. What's that? Something off a moped or something. We'll grab those pieces. I'll meet you back over at the bench. I figure we're probably all going to paint it black anyway, but that's a little larger. Actually might even go. So how does that compare to this stuff? Almost the same size. You can cut a piece of this off. What if we were to hammer that? I don't know if we're going to get a curve. I wonder if we curve that further. For shits and giggles, I'm gonna open this up around to that. See if I can put a little bit more of a curve to it. Do I need more of a curve? Yeah, I do. Let's see if we can bring that up and around. If not, we'll use the yellow stuff. Get it to bend this way. Yes, the end of that is warm. It's kind of lining up fairly decent. I think something like, I like to keep that line fairly straight in the front. Look up. I wonder, do you think maybe we should kick it down, go in the back half of it? What I also want to do is, you see my hand? No, you can't. I want to split it, and we'll open it up and give it that fish mouth exhaust kind of look. I think it's too bad. Something a little different too, with it being the flat instead of a piece of round pipe. I'm going to mount that up there somehow. I'm going to step back and look at it. See if we can follow any of the lines of the frame, or we could pick up off of something to kind of make it look together, you know? What do you think? I could see us, like I said, opening it up maybe the last 10 inches or so. Close on the engine right there too. You could tweak that a little. What do you think? We curve up even more and down. You know, normally it's fairly straight coming out on any exhaust, but nothing says we can't have fun. I don't know if we can either curve to match this, maybe up. We're never going to get that top one, you know. But maybe if we can kind of copy that cradle on the bottom. I'm going to keep bending it. We're going to keep doing that. See if we can match that back one there, that lower one, and let the lines possibly float together. We might have to get this to come down just a little bit. There we go, finished up that bend. Trying to think of how we want to do the end of it. Do we want matching the frame below? It's got a good parallel line to it, but we're going to mess that up as soon as we go to try to make a tail tip, muffler tip. So I want to slice it. Maybe we won't go as far. Maybe we'll just kind of like slice it to here, and we'll kick it out. We'll make it fish mouth, and then we'll do that cut that goes in it. We got to add metal in the middle of it, but I think we'll give that a shot. I don't know. I should probably look at a picture of one. I don't know if it's do both of them flare out or just does one side of it flare out. we do whatever we want, but so we cut it back right about, maybe a little further. All right, right about there. Work with that. I don't know, still debating whether I like it or not. We're gonna go continue on. I'm gonna go fill this in with metal now on both sides. And then grind that smooth. Then we can put the little, either a double or a single scoop or, you know, something there. Wonder if we could actually, you know, the gas tank has a pattern of a wing. I wonder if we can, should have thought of that earlier. We probably could have left the bottom, kind of probably mimicked that. Oh well. Moving forward, I'm gonna go fill them in. So we're gonna need a piece of metal just about that size. So let's go. See if we can make ourselves a pattern of a piece of metal. That is that size. Cut that out and cut it out of metal. See how close we came. I'd say close enough we can get it with a welder. Do a little fine tuning. Back it up there. It's like we're a little fat. Playing follows better. Okay, we're a little fat on the top side. Oh, slight adjustment. I'll try it again. Close enough for a welder. Fits like OJ's glove. we're good. Alright, let's go eyeball that again. And what do you think? You want to try the doubles? I'm going to go maybe, I can't draw a line to save my life. Maybe something like that. And like that. Should I come up more? I get more metal to screw with in the middle now that I want to erase it. I'm thinking maybe, what if we do... You were supposed to hold that. Yeah. We'll clean that off, draw it again. We'll eyeball it. What if a paint can will give us the right circle? Give that a shot. I'd say we come in. Does that make it to the middle? Give it. That might be too much of a. I think if that's missing, I'm gonna go with that. All right. Now I went less. I thought that was too round of a cut. You could always go later, but I don't think it's something more like that. Like it? I do. We can curve into it more later on if we feel that that is the need. So we need to weld it to the front here. And we got to make a bracket. We should probably make a bracket that slides or clamps because we have the capacity of the engine going back and forth. Got to come up with something for that. Sitting here looking at it, now that I can get back and get a visual. Couple things. One is, it looks, see this pattern right here? Kind of does the same. Now that I saw that, it would have been really cool if I made the exhaust this shape, come way further in. If I would have done this, say it right here, and make the top go back and have the exhaust just exit out of this part right down here. I don't like the fit right there. And I could have repeated that picture twice. I still like this. I'm just saying that now that I subconsciously, I guess, made that, or lucky, made that piece in there. I kind of like the way it goes from the round now to the flat, and it's flat all the way. Put a little bit of a curve to it too. And that's where it naturally wants to stay right now. There's not even a bracket on it right now. So I'm going to make, I still have to make that piece up that, probably going to grab right off of here. And I'll make it adjustable. For tensioning this chain, the engine can slide forward and back and go forward in this direction also on the saddle. So as you need to, if you need to adjust this chain, you have to adjust it by the wheel, and then if the wheel's out of whack, then you have to readjust this one through the motor. But usually once it's together, you're fine. Right, I'm rambling. I'm gonna make a bracket. Yeah. I still don't have a mount for the rear. I was digging through my stash. I found a generator, then the light. I was looking for a bracket to bolt to here, and I was thinking about stealing one of them. There's another one laying around here somewhere. That I was going to cannibalize and put on the back here. I'm looking at space, and I'm trying not to clutter the look of the front on by having a like gnarly clamp going around it. So what I'm going to do next time I take it off, I'm just going to weld the nut on the back over here, and I'm going to copper wire wrap it to the frame. You know, have some movement to it, kind of the same like that. go round and round and round, and if you need to take it apart, you just cut it off and redo it. Got a ton of that stuff. So instead, I'm not sure if that stuff's staying there. I just use them for place markers. We'll see if they grow on me. Probably put them on this side. It clutters that other side up too much, and it's going to clutter this side up. We need to de-uglify that engine and try to make it look like something a little bit more period, like the rest of the bike is. Rusted, old look to it, instead of plastic and shiny. So we need to operate, make it look a little different. So why don't we just start playing around, see what we can do. First, I think we can probably, the aluminum parts of the engine, we could paint black and then kind of brush back. Then and it'll have like an antique-y look. But I think we can get rid of that air cleaner. We'll make up our own air cleaner. So take that part. And of course the shining star is a lovely plastic red pull start. Yeah, I know, I agree too. Let's go see, let's go screw with the air cleaner first, and then we'll move on to this. I have been diligently moving parts of my hoard over here, which, although it was a total mess at the other house, I actually kind of knew where everything was, believe it or not. Now, that is not the case. Now it's just a bomb went off and everything is just in boxes. So we're going hunting. Good size. I'm just gonna put that. That was too easy. Yeah, I want to box them up to a thing of cans. Another one of those generator lights. It might be a little on the big side, but at some point I need to take time. How about a camera? Is that a camera? No, it's a light. How about a camera? Now I want a camera. A little Polaroid. We'll punch the guts out of it and we'll make it the air cleaner. Now I want a camera. I know I don't have one. Some more cans. Let's go. I'm gonna go grab some cans. We'll bring them down and see if anything tickles our fancy like a camera would. Some more piles. This is where I grabbed that gas cap. Now we need something containery. Awesome. Awesome. I love when that happens. Too shiny. I've done that before. Done that another one. It was a shaker. The lid was that perforated, like a pepper shaker. I already did that. Nah. I think we're going with a can. That's an old school. Now we're just going to start hunting it for stuff. That's just a cable set. I thought it was a speedometer. We find a camera. Oh, shut up. That's not what I was looking for. It's kind of big. All right, we're bringing that down. Anything else in here? Clock. Binoculars. Grenade. How about? It's kind of big too. There's not that much room up there. I think that very first can is going to be what we go with. Yeah. This is our size-wise. That's probably the get this box out of our way. That's better. We could do, should probably make it so the writing faces left and right. Doesn't even be like that. I like that. What's good about this one is you could pop the top, and because you got to run the screws all the way through it to lock it all together. Kind of like that one too. Might take up a little too much room. I like the right cans though. So we can, what can we do? We can cut the can in half and like sleeve it over itself. We gotta access the bolts. I mean, plus we gotta have so air can come in. You can punch the sides. And be able to stick a piece of foam in there, you know, so piece of filter. So if we have it, say we offset it that way. You can slide the end off. We can be able to get in there now. This is what it takes. And what a camera. Yes, it actually had washers in it. All kinds. Yeah. I need the gasket that is still on the carburetor. What's going on here? Yeah. Might be able to use that to punch it. Make our marks. Will that be the opposite of what we need? Right? We actually need it like that. That would have sucked. Yeah, that was a tad too big. I still want those little Instamatics. I gotta go check the house later on. I have a feeling that's what we're gonna go with in the long run. I kind of like the red picking up off of that. I like the cans that actually have more red to them though. But again, I think we are trying to add this to the equation. Let's take this thing off, see what it looks like underneath, and see what we can make or work with or change on this. Okay, first we're going to take off this have mice behind it. That's pretty easy. Not much of that, huh? It looks much cooler without that. Can we, what do we need for? I had there's a black cover down here. This one's aluminum. I wonder if we could change starter cups out. She's a tad small. I wonder if we could take this apart. Can we come up with our own? Because that actually centers that, right? So we don't have to worry about using the cover that I make to make it go center. Like that. You don't want to commit to making a whole thing out of metal. If we made it out of copper. Metal's much easier because you just weld the seams up. Copper, you either rivet it or solder it. I don't know if I want to get into that. Let me think about it. So I went poking and hoping upstairs in my stash. I came up with a couple of old pull start covers. They're a little on the large side, but I figured maybe we'll go try those, see if we can maybe use part of them to distinguish or hide it. Give me a minute. We'll get this old pull start off of here from the plastic cover and see what those look like on there. There you go, red or green? We'll go green first. Should probably pull those studs maybe too. And the other part is you got to get the pull start to work the pull start on there, and that doesn't use that cup style, so we'll have to possibly gut it, maybe get that back in it, not sure. I might be able to get, so if we cut the bottom, what I should probably do is maybe we make something come out of the center so we know where the center is, because we have to be in the center of where the pull start is for obvious reasons. And let's get look at the other one. They're both just going to be a little too girthy. Not terrible, but what's holding us from going in further? You know what? I can almost catch a bolt on the back side of that one. Yeah, let me go get a couple of those. Let's get a couple of these out of the way. Yeah, pop those studs out. I just have, it's just going to be too much material to work with. You can see it's about 1.5 inches too tall. Here's that bolt I was saying you can line up with. Not that, I still had to go in about another 2 inches also, which we could do. I just don't think the scale quite matches it. That might even make it to there if we cut the bottom off. Let's maybe take a little ride, and we'll look into, I'm thinking maybe like old antique chainsaws. I got a couple of them laying around. Maybe like an old home light cover or something might be closer. Don't know, I'm just trying to picture it in my head. So back here in my stash, I do believe there is a couple of chainsaws. Right about there. Hopefully a snake doesn't come out and rip my face off. Nothing. Doesn't even have anything on that one. What about that one? I don't know. Maybe. Is that all one piece? So there's a break right there. Alright, that's a possible. And there's another yellow one right there. Oh, there's a blue one too. Hold on. I'm going to put you guys down. You hear me scream like a girl. It's not my fault. There's more over there too. That might be a possibility. I like that one. Hold on. That might be a little too small. We're gonna go grab that. So those two. And then we get around the corner here. Nah. Those three. Let's see what we can dig up with those. What do you think the last time this saw was cleaned? Yeah. Probably loses about a 1/2 inch of diameter just in crap. Let's scrape that out and try it up on the bike. think it's going to be tight on the fan. Doesn't look bad though, does it? Yeah, the problem is the fan behind it, how much room we got from side to side. It'd be nice if we were able to change out. Nah, I don't think so. That would get us going in the right direction. Let's go peek at the other ones. Other than a nest and I think a live spider. Yeah, he's live. Woo-hoo. Let's get rid of him. I think he's dead. Center of that one's right there. That looks like it's got another, we have another section of skin to come out. It's going to go behind the flywheel though. A break there, bolt it there. Yeah, it's got a deeper shell. And what's behind door number 3? It has, what was holding that in? Nothing was holding that in. Well, that's supposed to work. Looks like it's got 3 screw sets there, but was the cup just wedged in between the two of them? Seems kind of odd, doesn't it? Is that broke? It's broke, that's why. All the way around. Well, there's your problem. What do you think that thing is? It almost wants to catch the cog. What is the... So what did that one catch on? Doesn't look like there's actually any. Is it just kind of... It just bites into the aluminum, huh? I wonder if we could change out that. I think it's a hair too high. You hate when your hair too high. I'm gonna do a little bit of whittling on that one. We'll see if we can get that to work for us, maybe. That's probably our most likely candidate at the moment. Maybe. Maybe. I took a hunk of metal, put a curve in the top. I figure there's a fan shroud there somewhere. We just don't know it yet. We just have to bring it out. Alright, so I'm going to kick the bottom bend. From this. So we'll call it right there. Right there. So we'll give it a kick. And 90 going back under. We'll have to whittle it away some. And once we get it up close, then we'll start seeing what we want to do for a shape. Something like that. That looks pretty straight and even going across. I think so. I gotta figure out depth-wise with the studs back in, where's that gonna sit, and then we'll get that dimension. That's so attractive. Essentially that. I'm going to get a dimension from here to here. A little bit of a spread on that one. Pattern looks pretty good though. It's on. I just hogged out the center of it. You can put it all together. That looks like it should be fine. And now we just gotta, however we want to make that outside of that shell, I think probably we just take this line and something like that will kind of take the roughness out of it. What do you think? It might be in a little too far. Yeah, let's... Brake fluid works good for brake clean, I mean. Let's go with keep that line straight, and then cut it in. I cannot draw a straight line to save my life. See my signature, it looks like a doctor. All right, I think we should grind it back to there. We clean up all those edges. Down there a little bit, needs a little cleaning. And we can make a band that goes all the way around it, probably right into there, and come down. We'll make a whatever the width of that is, and then we'll just leave the rest of it open. So a piece on this side, piece on the other side. There's one side, one side roughed in, have it tacked in a couple of places. Now I'm going to go and just grind this edge smooth to this one all the way around, then weld it up. Probably I might weld it on the inside, not sure. One last test fit, looks pretty good. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Looks pretty center. So I should wrap this right around. Might be able to catch this bolt on the side too. No, it's the depth of that. Yeah, I should be able to make it. And come to about right here. On top. I know we got to fill in. There you go. We got to fill in the back side of right here. There's an air gap. Right there. I'm going to address that because a lot of air is going to come pumping out through the side there. We're going to be able to catch that screw too. Maybe we'll make it with a little L. Maybe not. That's looking pretty to me. We need to make a dent right there, right above there. Let's go about there. You can just kind of will it. Give her a little. You think we should hit it with a hammer? I think we got it. That might be it. I'd say it came out pretty good for over your knee fabrication. No welds on the outside, it's all on the inside, and then I just ground down to the inner weld. Like it. After I think we age it and age the rest of the engine, it'll fall in pretty good. Not sure about the pull start, the plastic part of that. I don't know if I want to get into venting that. We'd probably cover that with a piece of metal of something, but just leave the drive the way it is. Still have to cut out for the spark plug yet too. The little slot that goes, little U that goes up there. And then a patch for the back. And then it'll block a little bit of that air passage off. I like it. It's finally starting to come together. Might go with the black seat, and I'm not sure about that rack. I keep putting different racks up on it and let it be there for a while and maintain the space and see how I like it. I think we are almost done with stuff that needs to be fabricated though. What else we got? Just cable, throttle, you know, tweaking handlebars and seats. Hopefully on the next one we're riding. That's probably what we'll do. We'll detail the engine maybe on the next one, kind of get it to look old. And go from there. And try to get it on the ground and go for a putt-putt. Guys, that's it. I'm tapping out. I'm done. I'm tired. See you on the next one. Later. Boom, 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 boom. What, did you think I was really going to leave without starting it up? See what the exhaust sounds like? Come on now. Can't leave you hanging for that. It's got no muffler, it's just essentially a straight pipe, but it should give a decent little thumpy kind of sound, at least I'm hoping for. Alright, which way is choke? I can't tell, I think that's choke. Let's give her. And we out of harm's way. A little bit of gas. I think the choke is the other way. Let's try it. Purrs. That's good. Carb's not tight. The carb's not tight, that's why. A slight intake leak. That sounded awesome though. A little louder than I actually expected. Yeehaw. gas. Oh yeah.